member, namely Jackie de Waal from Beatrix College, Tilburg. She has a second-year student, and therefore she is free to ask questions to the third years. Okay, now we can begin the speeches from the third years, and the first one to speak is Timón Houben, I think that's correct, from KSG Apeldoorn. He will be speaking about the EU and the Euro in the future. Good luck.
The European Union and the Euro in the future. Hello, dear audience, judges, and the question panel. I'm Timón, and I'm going to talk about the European Union, the Euro, and how I think it will all come to an end. You will hear something about the Euro and how it is already collapsing, and about what I think comes after the European era. The European Union today has 27 members. Some are France, Germany, Great Britain, Italy, Spain, Greece, but also the Netherlands. And within the European countries, the euro is collapsing. Some countries are bankrupt. An example we all know is Greece. But also Italy and Spain are in danger of getting bankrupt soon. There is this major euro crisis. But why? What happened? What went wrong? Well, there was a lot of enthusiasm when the euro was introduced in Europe. It was intended to encourage the free flow of goods. One shared currency enables easier trading of stocks at a common price all over Europe. Nothing could go wrong, and the European Central Bank, the ECB, which manages the euro, kept a strict check on inflation and did not see anything go wrong. However, for Europe, it went wrong. When the financial crisis hit, countries were pointing at each other for who to blame for this hassle, instead of thinking of a solution at first. Only later, when the crisis was so bad and countries were in such great debts, they tried to solve it, but it was simply too late. There's turbulence in Europe, and countries like Great Britain even started to have referendums about whether or not to stay in the Union. This all will lead to the collapse of the European Union and its euro, which will mean that every country will get its former currency again. Trade will decrease because of this, and so the economy will collapse again. Traveling and working abroad will decrease as well, mainly because it will be more difficult to enter and leave a foreign country. All these points added up will eventually lead to the definite end of the Union as we know it now. The working together and the idea of being part of one nation will not disappear, though. It won't, because working together gives far more benefits for us and our neighbouring nations. This prevents war. It minimizes the chance of inflation, and it increases trade, which is good for the economy. And so that is why there's a big chance of a better union in the future. And by future, I mean, let's say 20, 25, maybe 30 years from now. This will be a bigger, enhanced cooperation with more countries, maybe even outside Europe, to join. And of course, a better system to work things out. But, for the time being, it is all uncertain. What I do think is going to happen is that we'll be entering a much brighter future and a much better union after this one. But to make things better, you often need to make things worse. And this is how I think the future will be for Europe and its cooperation. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Timón. I feel like a dwarf standing next to you. Let's look at the question panel. They're still deciding what question to ask. Are you ready?
Hello. Hi. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm from England, Britain, and a few years ago we decided not to enter the euro. As you mentioned, we're part of the European Union. Do you think that was the right decision to keep the pound? And
because,
why?
because now there is this crisis, this euro crisis, and if Great Britain would have entered, you would have been in the crisis as well. Or there could be another way that you would be the ones to save this crisis. You would come with the right solution to solve the crisis, especially in Greece and the other southern countries of Europe.
Thank you, Timón. Thank you, question panel, for the question. I see that someone stretching up. Oh. Okay. You again. I'm happy to see you.
Yes, I have a question. If you go to France on holiday and you go shopping there, everything still is written in French francs and euros, all these years later. Now, I had this sort of niggling little feeling. Why have they done that? Why have they not just got rid of the French franc totally? Why does it still appear? What is your feeling about that?
Maybe all these years they were fearing a crisis, or they are too pride to lose their own currency, and maybe that is a sign to know for sure that it will come back eventually again.
Thanks. Someone else? Yes, money. Of course, people are asking questions. Yes.
Hello. How do you think abolishing the euro would solve any of the problems the countries are facing?
I think in the beginning it won't, because everything will get more difficult. Trade and working abroad, traveling, I think it will get difficult. But after the euro era, so a new union, a new currency, I think that is the solution. Start over again. And try to avoid the problems we had with this currency and with this union, and use it to make it a better one.
Thank you, audience, for the questions, and thank you, Timón, for the speech.